Okay, YouTube, doing a boiling test with propane setup here. But yeah, that took close to 14 minutes. It was 11 minutes on natural gas. Yeah, so just getting a feel for how much heat this thing puts out. I'll try to run a calculation on that. I think the 11-minute boil time gave me about 1700 BTU per hour effective rate. So this is probably more like 1500. So anyway, that's a test. So I got 14 minutes on propane. I'll have to check the specs on that regulator. I forget if it's 10 or 11 inches of water column. The manufacturer can list 28 to 30 millibars. 30 millibars is around 12-inch water column. So they might be working with a slightly higher pressure with the European propane regulators, where in the US you're either running with 10 or 11, so a little bit lower pressure. I might need to enlarge these orifices a bit, even on propane, and I'm thinking I might enlarge them a bit on natural gas as well. 6.5 minutes to boil, so that's a quart of water. What I've done just temporarily for testing is I've put the 1 millimeter orifice in there. So this is actually the natural gas jet that I've put in there, and that's probably a bit too much there. You see I'm getting yellow on the flame tips, but that boiled water, a quart of water in 6.5 minutes. So someplace between 0.65 and 1 millimeter I think is what I will go with. Maybe I'll try 0.7 millimeter. I think I've got drill bits every 0.05 millimeters up to 1. Turn that off, and then what I did in the small burner, I put the 0.65 millimeter jet that used to be in there, and I think this works really nice here. I don't know if you can see the flames there, but it gets a lot nicer flame. There's just a touch of yellow. I think some of that's from the wind blowing out here, and again I get nice control. Okay, let's take a look at the flames here in the twilight. The small flame looks pretty good. You get a lot more control over it. Before, with the smaller orifice, it was pretty much on-off. You can get pretty much any heat you want there. But for sure, I think the 0.5 is too small for the small burners. I guess the first thing to do is get that small burner dialed in. I think I can do a 0.6. I've got a 0.6 drill bit, and then we'll start working on the large burner once I get the small one dialed in. And what I'm trying to do is decide what size jet or orifice I want to use in this small burner. So it came with 0.5 millimeters, and that gives me a little under 2700 BTUs. And the rated output of this burner is supposed to be something like 3400. So it was quite undersized. This was the 0.5 millimeter jet, and this is a 0.6 millimeter drill bit. I ran the 0.6 through this orifice, so what I want to do is try out 0.6 and compare it to the 0.65 and see if there's any difference there. Okay, let's finish this last screw up here. So I think these burners are made by a company in Italy called SABAF, and these are their Series 2 camper burners, and the distinguishing feature is they have these screws that hold the top to the burner head to the burner body, because if you're in an RV, these things are going to be bouncing all over the place if they're not held down. Well, a lot of your kitchen stoves will just have these pieces lift off, but because this is a camper version, it's got the screws to hold it down. Let's give this a try here. So let's see what that looks like with the light off. Yeah, so this is about 3700 BTU per hour. So I don't see a whole lot of difference. It's probably a little smaller flame. Yeah, I think the controllability with this larger orifice is a little better, because this, you can see I'm at full, and then I go down, I get down to about there, and then it kind of jumps from barely on to almost full. So yeah, I think my plan is I'm going to put this 0.65 unaltered, and I'll just move that from here to there. I think I've got this dialed in. Take this jet out and I'll drill it, and we'll try it out in here, do a couple of tests, 7, 8, and 9/10. Yeah, I'll come back when I get to working on the big burner here. And yeah, if you have any questions, post up in the comments section down below. And as always, thanks for watching.